G'day, and welcome to the rodeo that is Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Buying no players, selling no players, and just bobbing along the Atlantic Ocean. With me on this cruise of upheaval, and maybe he might bring a bit calmness to our sea of troubles. It's the one and only Mr. Godfather himself, Mr. Philip Brady. Philip, how are you today? And look, we're on the sea of we're in the middle of a storm at the moment, aren't we? The seas are rough. People are getting sick, chucking their heads across the boat. I've seen Dave running down the ship, shouting, "Hey ho, Kane, long live the king." Where are we, do you think, with all the news that's coming out? Because somebody's saying one thing, somebody's saying another, somebody's saying something else, and you and me looking at each other thinking, who do we believe?
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to know. I mean, it's like if you put it in the Titanic scenario, half of them are jumping into the lifeboats, and the other half reckon the ship's not going to sink. So it's kind of difficult. There's so much stuff coming up.
Which category would you be in, Philip?
I'm holding my fire on that one. I'll see what the weather's like. I'll see how rough the seas are. Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere you read. There's a different interpretation of what's happening. It is absolutely amazing how people can come up with such genius plans for Harry Kane for the future. I'm sure he'd be delighted to read them all.
Apparently, over the weekend, I read somewhere that Mickey Mouse is looking to sign him.
God, yeah.
Oh, there we go. But look, no, seriously, Philip, it's just one of those days in the land of Harry Kane, isn't it? And we're
just another day, another day, another story.
Yeah, I said it last night, Philip. It's like, Levy is now out control of this ship. Now he came to the waters. He could have taken us down a calm at Pacific Ocean, a nice gentle boat ride, but he's taken us down through the Atlantic in the middle of a storm, and all with the transfers and everything, it just hasn't worked out, has it?
Unmute myself. Yeah. I mean, when you like a nice idyllic day in the South China Sea or the Pacific Ocean on the west coast of America, instead he's taking us up through the Atlantic Ocean up to Antarctica or somewhere like that. The roughest journey you could actually have. But nothing's ever smooth, is it? It's really,
No, it isn't. Well, I got a poll in the chat, Philip. Let me get the poll up, and the answer is: will Kane be here for the first game of the season? 42% say yes, 58% say no. So that sort of flies in the sort of
that's changed a good bit since yesterday. Yeah. And anyway, I think we're going to discuss why that is, why that's actually coming that way.
We've got Ellie here. England 9 there says raw today, 6 of the best. She's saying a fantastic performance. So proud of our girls. Big up, Ellie. Hope you're doing well. We've got James Richmond. English girls look on track. Yeah, they did, but the Irish girls did us proud as well. So don't forget them. Carl Simpson. Good afternoon, guys. Everyone in the chat. We've got Wembley 1. Afternoon. Hello. Wembley 1's taken off half the screen here, Philip. Hang on, let me just double change that there so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. That's better. Afternoon, boys. Whilst every other club is actively doing business, we're bobbing along on the sea of inherent thanks to the catastrophic, cataclysmic, biblical incompetence and complacency of Levy. Now, try saying that after about a bottle of vodka. See how far you get.
The one thing I'll say to that is we've signed 3 new players and took 2 on loan. That's 5 new incoming. So it hasn't really been complacent. It's been slow for the last few weeks. And hopefully that will speed up again. But I still think we're on to have a very good transfer window. And, we'll see what happens in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But I totally agree with them. It's been slow, but it hasn't been completely incompetent, that's for sure.
No. Wayne Bonner, afternoon. Hope everyone is well, enjoying the day. Look, on that on me, Philip. Look, I can understand where he's coming from. Again, there was like last season, we started like a bat out of hell. And then suddenly we just went quiet. And we didn't do any more business. It's like we've got all that certain business on without looking at the problem where we need to centre backs. Now, I wouldn't have minded. Okay, we've got Madison and we've got Venom and we've got Newcastle. But where are the centre backs? We know we need them. We're going to end up starting.
We know that. I mean, it's the
So
most.
how come we can't get the deals done?
I'm not. I've no crystal ball. We know it's not that easy to make deals with especially when Tottenham come calling. The price goes up because they know the price goes. Like look at the Tapsoba deal. I mean, his price has risen considerably. So has Van der Ven. Look at the young McPhillips lad from Blackburn Rovers from 2 million to 9 million. You know, Daniel Levy is not going to pay over the odds for any player. You pay what he's worth, and that's it. And that's fair enough with me. But we do need to get these centre backs. And I believe we will. I don't think we'll have the same centre back pairing come Brentford that we had at the end of the season.
I think we'll get one.
We can't have.
I think we'll get one in.
Well, even one in playing 4-3-3, one is okay because that'll play alongside Romero. It's fair enough, you know.
Well, I'd say big up to Terry White, big up everyone, big up to Daniel Field as well. We'll say big up to Paul Connor. Afternoon, I'm working here in the background. Big up Paul. We've got this Egypt called Thfc till I die. I don't know
him
who
again.
Him again. Do you know he sent me a text last night saying he knows Wayne Rooney was out with another granny, but look, what do I know? That apparently. Just
grab a granny night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a grab. He was at your bingo. That's where he was. Anyway, Ellie, true. I hope for Venom's sake the club get some decent defenders, especially as he'll be picking the ball out of the net so often. He will want to get on the first flight back to Italy. No,
that's negative, Ellie. Come on. Give the other goalie a chance. He's been written off by a lot of players, by a lot of fans. This guy, he hasn't even played for us yet. You know?
Right. Big up, Ellie, though. We've got G'day. Have we signed any bloody centre backs yet? No.
Let me just look under the table, see if they're there. No, not yet.
Tequila, can you send me and Philip some tequila as well? We really would like that. Thank you very much. We've got Hot God 10. Good afternoon, everyone. Big up, Hot God 10. We've got Daniel Phil. Blimey, another tough poll. I know. Well, at the moment, it's 53% say no, 47% say yes. So the no's are having it that he won't be there at the first game of the season. We'll have to wait and see. Good afternoon, evening, wherever you're morning. Dermot Philip, hope your day's doing well. Yeah, my day's going grand. Philip's day's going grand. Philip's off to bingo tonight. Do his Tom Jones impression. That's when he's not. Around.
No, he's not. Philip's having a night off tonight. No, it's Tuesday night. The night off tonight.
Oh, yeah, 5
members of my band got COVID last week. The night I wasn't there, 5 of them got COVID and it's called off from tonight. Wasn't I lucky?
You were very lucky. Rats leaving the ship, Dermot. Still the
that should be ship, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, ship. It is. It ship even, but shit sounds even.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not.
The biggest rat though leaving there. We've got Daniel Field. I can't answer that, man. Is either Kane making history or gutting a trophy.
Getting a trophy and getting a brewer. Yeah,
getting the trophy. The longer Levy can daily say the Kane, the less time we'll have to spend the money this summer. Brilliant business, Daniel.
It's not going to be delayed more than the start of the Brentford match. I think that's for sure.
No. Anyway, another day in the life for the besieged Tottenham Hotspur supporters, I know. And also ticket prices, Philip, which we are going to start on. Now, we would have started on Harry Kane, but I want to start on the ticket prices because it does affect us as well, to be fair. And it affects us, man. Philip's got a theory behind this, and I think it's a very good theory. Big up, Ollie. Hi, all. This saga has a never-ending story. It sounds like a song of the 80s, never-ending story. No shit player out. No centre backs in. Can this continue? Oh, I don't know. Afternoon, guys. Big up, Jerula. Hope you're doing well, honey. Nice to see you. We've got Sherm Tan. Afternoon, THFC till I die. Why would protests work when Levy has built a giant ATM machine that's making him and the users board rich? He'll never leave until there's a complete boycott of stadium merch. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah. Philip, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, why do you think that is, Philip? Why do you think the fans were united to get Sugar out, right? How come we're not united to get Levy and Enoch out?
Because basically, I would say now, right, a high percentage, probably higher than we would like to think, really don't give a toss about who owns the club. They just go to the game and they watch the match and that's it. They have no interest in who's the owner or who what is. It's only if it hits them in the pocket that they might start coming on board. But I think it's been proven out now that the protests that have been over the last couple of seasons, well-meaning and fair dues to them, but they've been percentage-wise of the fan base. They've been very, very small. They need to get bigger, like the Man United protest against the Glazers. So I think Daniel, it is an ATM machine, but you'll never ever get a boycott of the stadium merchandise. If you're ever in that shop on match day, it's packed out. They're queuing up to get out of the place to check out stuff. So it is an ATM machine. He will continue to take the money until such time as somebody gives him more money to leave, which I don't see being anytime soon, to be honest with you. And but the protests really need to get, and we'll talk about the protests coming up after the Man United game shortly. But the protests need to be a lot more vociferous and a lot more loud, so he gets to hear about them, to see them.
Yeah, look, we there's always the protests around the club, Philip, about in account, leaving out. We know that, and look, and we try to be very balanced on the show to our own detriment. Sometimes I think on our own. I think so. We've had slight bother by certain individuals. Well, not bother. They've left us sort of alone, haven't they? And look, we all want the best for Tottenham Hotspur. Of course we do. We all want Tottenham to succeed. We all want Tottenham to win. We all want to win trophies. But are you going to get that success with an owner and a chairman that doesn't spend money? And or would you rather have a Newcastle or a Chelsea or Man City just spend money for fun? Look, we've seen the times, Philip, when we nearly went out of business. And do you think that still haunts the club even now? And that was how long ago? 30 odd years ago.
That was 30 years ago. 32 years ago.
30 years ago.
Probably, I think Tottenham financially are probably too well run, to be honest with you. They're too cautious with the money. And that's why I think you mentioned Newcastle, Chelsea, and Manchester City. All those clubs have been taken over by rich owners, right? Who aren't scared to spend a bob or two, and that's the difference. What we need to happen now is similar to happen at Tottenham. The underbidder at Manchester United, if he can't get United, come down to us and buy us, and then put your money where your mouth is, and get us back on the same level as these clubs, mega clubs like City, who can do what they like, it seems, financially and get away with it. But they also have the revenue to buy the top players, which is what we want to be. And a takeover from Qatar or whatever could open the door for that to happen.
But on the other hand of that, Philip, Tottenham have spent over $1 billion on transfers in 20-something years, and recapped over 890 million on transfers coming in. So there's a sort of 20-30 million minus, if you know what I mean. Look, it's a subject that we will go into, Philip. But I want to get through the rest of the chats because the chat is pumping. Look, big up to T-Man 007. Want to say big up to him. Big up to GJ Samuel. We won Ellie. Says Sherm Tan. Do you want to explain? Well, Ellie's taking a break. That's all I'm going to say.
Ellie's taking a break from the channel, so she'll not be back on for a while.
She won't. No. We've got Peter M. Hello, Dermot and Philip. More drama, no centre backs. True. Right. Who else we've got coming in? We've got Val Taylor. Big up. Good afternoon, gentlemen. From the missus and myself. Big up, Val Taylor. Hope you're doing right. We've got Greg Silner. Good afternoon, one and all. More listening in the gym for me shortly. Yeah, now, Philip, you're taking notes what he's doing. Right. We need to take notes now. Yeah. There we go. We've got Michael McDonald. Please send us an email. I want to get you on, Michael. You're very angry with Ange Postecoglou. I want you to get you on either for Newsbeat or a debate show and ask why. I really want to talk to you. I really do. We both do, actually, don't we, Philip? We really want to get this man on.
Yeah, I want to get the inside track from Celtic.
Yeah. You let a great centre-back go when you sold Carter Vickers. Whoever let him go needs the head looking at.
He never got a chance at Tottenham. He was out on loan at so many different clubs. And I think, in all fairness to the guy, when he did get a chance, he didn't really take it. So I think that's probably why he was let go. But he's come to be a very, very good centre half up at Celtic. Very, very good.
You big up, Dermot. Philip, everyone in the chat. Here we are again, and yet more confusion. Must stay cheerful. Yeah, that's true. Yes. Sorry, Rooty Tooty. Hey, Scooty. He's a defender. Now, Matthew, I have got back to what you meant by this. Pick one Kane saga or Mbappe saga. Pick one disability. Now, I've asked you what you meant by that. So if you can actually get back to us in the chat and what you mean by that. Yeah, that's a weird one. Question. Right, Paul, we will put this in, but we'll just go through the chat. We're going to come back to your question in a minute. We've got Peter M. Big up Peter M. Who else we've got in? We've got Leslie Crawford saying Tottenham do spend money, probably the 5th highest spenders over the last 5 seasons.
It's what they spent it on is the problem.
No, that is the problem. I saw a Wolves fan make a very good point. They're seeing the club get destroyed by FFP, and Chelsea would just spend what they like and the hell with anything else.
We have touched on that already. As the favouritism Chelsea seem to be getting all right,
Yeah, it is. We've got DJ Samuel. There's a protest on Sunday. Big up, DJ. Yeah. We've got Alan Adams. Big up, Adam. Alan, hope you're doing well. Afternoon, fellas, it says. This board and ownership hierarchy has never listened to the fan base and won't anytime soon. It's not right, and it's a shameful fact. Yeah. It's got a point, Philip.
Yeah, listen, you know these Tottenham Hotspur supporters, trusts and what have you, they're set up to look good on the outside. They're doing something, they're listening to the fans. In reality, they're probably doing Wordle or doing a crossword at the meetings. And they're not listening to the fans. They can't be. They can't be listening to the fans.
Now, Philip, we'll go over there. Big up to Leslie Crawford, Stuart Wheeler as well. It says, good afternoon, guys. Never dull at Spurs. No, it's not. It's never dull. So there's everyone in, Philip. Look, that gets longer. And we've got, just quickly, Claudia Murphy. Kane does not want to go to Germany. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we've got Lisa from Mexico. Good morning, afternoon, Dermot and Philip.
Afternoon, Lisa. Good morning over there.
Matthew says, THFC to like, now both saga is bad and shit and a waste of time. Just get over this.
Yeah. That's done by Mbappe and Kane.
Yeah, but it's the disability bit. What did you mean by that? That's what I was asking. For somebody who is disabled. Thank you very much. Let's get it out there. Put what you meant by that. Thanks. Route 2, you have feeling name. Okay. Now, Philip, I was going through the news today, and the Supporters Trust wants to do a protest on the first home game of the season against Man United because of ticket prices. So this is the Tottenham Hotspur Trust. Let me get it back to the beginning. Now, I want to get where is it? Oh, here we go. Tottenham Hotspur Trust call to action. Stand with us in the fight against match day ticket increases. Now, what I'm going to do, Philip, I'm going to go through the facts and then we'll go through them one by one because you've got a theory on this, and so have I. This is now priced me out of going to games next season, where I was going to get my membership this week. This has now priced me out of going to games because I cannot afford going to games as well as paying for a flight and as well as getting from the airport down to London as well. It's not just a case of thing. Match day ticket. Now, key facts here. Match day ticket prices have been increased from between £3 and £15 for Category B and Category C games, between 10 and 17 for Category A games, rising the top price for a single match to an eye-watering £103. Premier League fixtures have been recategorised by the club to include more matches in higher price brands.
Yeah.
Now, Philip goes on to say, the increase will now tickets in some of the cheapest sections of the stadium have been replaced by higher prices. The increase will generate approximately £2.5 million, 2.4% of the match receipt income for the financial year ending June 2022, or 0.6% of the club's total income. Small change for Spurs, but a big hit in the pocket for fans. Philip, this is not on.
Yeah.
This is wrong.
I think that's June 24, actually, that should be. But anyway, it's not back there. Yeah, it's not on. It's 20% pretty much across the board, right? They've reduced the amount of concessionary for young and older fans. Say there was 500 of those available. Now there's only 250 or something like that. So I don't know if that's the exact figure, but they've cut them. I'll give you my theory on it now, and this is something I've been tracking. Maybe you'll remember back in February or March, sometime before the end of last season anyway, the club announced that they were freezing the price of season tickets. And everybody thought, happy days, here we go. The club is seeing a bit of sense at long last, right? So the season ticket holders are sitting very happy. They're still paying the same money for the tickets next season as they did last season. Then Joe Public, who goes to the occasional match or travels over from Ireland like we would do, goes to buy a ticket. It's gone up 20%. Now, in my theory is this: the people that have season tickets. Now, I'm not. I don't want to sound harsh here, but I'm just going to be blunt enough. They are able to afford to pay up front for all the matches come for next season, right? And that's fair enough. Good luck to them. Whereas people that go to matches, on occasions have to storm up out of their weekly wage packet and whatever. So the people that could afford the increase have not been penalised, but the people that have difficulty in affording the increase have been hit badly in the pocket. And as such, like Dermot said, will be unable to go to matches next season. And I think that's shocking. I really do. I think it's a complete shot. They've shot themselves in the foot over this one.
Yeah. Look, I just want to say big up to Matthew as well. I know he said dark humor. I'm not very good with some dark humor stuff, so I know that's fine. But he's gifted Philip 5 memberships to people. So
very
the
good. Nice,
membership
Matthew.
are NL, Joe, Roy, and I think that who else? Who else? Antonius Avenius and Joseph O'Hanahan were gifted memberships. Well, big up, and they were
very good, Matthew. That's very good of you.
There we go. They were big up Matthew as well. Big up everyone, please. Thank you, Matthew. You're very kind, and please, if you have picked up a membership, we are going to do our first members only sort of pre-record today about the Harry Kane situation and where everything is going to end, me and Philip. So that will be going up later as well. So thank you, Matthew. Very, very kind. And please, everyone, do get in your super chats. The chat is pumping. I'm going to try to keep up with all the chat, but if you want to jump ahead of the queue, put it into a super chat and we will bring it up first. And also pick up your memberships, only $2.99 and $4.99, cheaper than Netflix and cheaper than Disney Plus, Amazon Prime. You don't want to watch that. Just download MovieBox. Get over to us. We show you a better sign. But Philip, look,
it's cheaper than chips too. Though a bag of chips costs more than that.
Yeah, look, that's very true, Philip. I might use that actually, Philip. But look, it is true though, Philip. I'm not going to be priced out of going to a game next season, and it's wrong. Yeah. I should be. Well, even though I live in Ireland. Yeah, go on.
No, go on. I'm gonna say roughly agree with what you're saying. Yeah, carry on.
Even though now you said the ticket. Now, what do you mean by the season ticket holders? Do you think you said the increases should be made to them, Philip?
Yeah, I think but the club couldn't do that at the start because if they'd announced the season tickets were going to be increased by 20% back in February, there'd be a huge downtake on the season tickets, right? So what they did was they got everybody into a false sense of security by saying we're not going to increase the season ticket prices. Now the natural reaction to that is we're not going to increase the day ticket prices either. It's kind of you think you'd be lulled into a sense of false security over that, but then suddenly they go and knock it 20%, and I find that absolutely obscene.
I do too, Philip, because look, I've now cannot go to the game I wanted to go this year, which is I go to 1 or 2 games a season. It's not easy for us. We just can't just jump on the plane or jump on the train. We'll go down to Tottenham today. We have to fly over, get a plane from Dublin to Heathrow, then get a train then from Heathrow to Tottenham, and that costs money as well. Go down, get your ticket, which is 50, 60 quid. Our memberships, 50 euro as well.
Yeah.
It's not cheap, Philip. And this is ridiculous. And I have emailed somebody. I have emailed the Tottenham Hotspur Sport Trust to come on one of our shows and sort of explain to them what their vision is of what's fair for Tottenham. I mean, they should have been on this from day one, Philip. Why is it taking them so long now to come out?
Like I said, I think the Supporters Trust is very much an honorary position that really the club aren't listening to with any great seriousness. They'll make out the list and they'll produce minutes of meetings or whatever, and they'll do precisely about what's agreed. It's only a sham to really show that we do have fans' interests at heart, you know. But just to go back to your point about not being able to afford matches, Dermot, I'm going over to the Shakhtar game last Sunday, right? And this is something that hits everybody as well. The price of trains in England is going to be ridiculously high. It's costing me only a £5 or more to fly from Dublin to Stansted and home again than to get from Stansted to Tottenham. There's something wrong there.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
That is ridiculous. Look, and Leslie puts it here, Philip, very quick. She says, all bills have gone up, gas, electricity rates. Why would you not expect price increase? Well,
okay, you wouldn't mind a 2 or 3% price increase to keep pace with inflation, but 20%. Explain that one. I can't.
It's pricing us out. It's pricing genuine fans out of the game. The only people going to get to games are the season ticket holders, and the people that are rich and well afford it. The general
and the prawn sandwich brigade, they turn up in the West Stand in the executive boxes and turn around. Who are we playing? They're the type of fans that don't mind the increase, but they're the ones. It's the ordinary fan that travels up from Ireland, travels from Somerset, Yorkshire, wherever. They're the ones that are paying the price on this. You're frozen, Dermot, have you? I think Dermot's frozen. Not the weather, anyway. Let me see. I'll just go back and read a few of these comments here. People saying Levy will get real friendly with Bungle, I reckon. Too friendly. And Val Taylor, many season ticket holders can't afford to pay the full cost up front and pay by monthly installments. Yeah, but even that's easier. Like a monthly installment would be a lot cheaper than a month. I think the cheapest season tickets are around 1,500, correct? It's just, I suppose, not too much a month. But then again, no point in us having season tickets. We can't get over to all the matches, you know. And Tequila 316, great choice, Matthew. My favourite Batman. We're talking movies here, I think. Wayne Bonner's on about Michael Keaton's Batman. And Keaton was great. I'll just pass these. Now, this is from Carl Simpson. And Carl is saying, even myself, Dermot, I like to go as much as I can, but I just cannot afford to take that money out of my family's pocket. There you are. That's it.
Look, I'm sorry, I need an upgrade in my system. I need to upgrade my computer, basically. Add another graphics card in it, so it does this from time to time. It freezes. And something's in it in the program, and it freezes. So I need to sort that out. I know I do. Look, it's true, Philip. It's pricing genuine fans out of going to Tottenham. And the only ones that can afford it, it's the season ticket holders, the people that can afford it, the prawn sandwich brigade, and people that can say, that live in England can get to it. People like you and me all day. Hang on, Dave, Philip, please. I just want to get this out. People like you, me, Dave, people like Jack from America, people that come over from Europe, we can't afford this. So I cannot now go and watch my team play. All right? Okay, I can watch them on Sky in the sitting room, or we do a watch along to it, Philip. But this is out of order because I want to go to a live game. I want to take in the atmosphere. We went to AC Milan, a big Champions League night. I know we lost and the result was great, but it was still the atmosphere.
Well, there's more atmosphere in the moon that night, Dermot.
But no, the point I'm making, Philip, we got to a game.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
I cannot get to a game next season because I physically cannot afford it. We all know prices are gone up, fuel's gone up, electricity's gone through the roof. We know food has gone through the roof. We know families are on low incomes that can't get the games. There's probably somebody in England or Ireland, their little son supports Tottenham. Daddy, can we go to a game this year? Sorry, son, I can't afford it. Or sorry, daughter, I can't afford it. And it's wrong.
Plus, there's another aspect of it too. Now, I'm not knocking the football tourists that we get at the games, mainly from Korea, obviously with Son or whatever. But I just like to know where they actually get their tickets from, because one hospital members get tickets, and then season tickets get tickets, and everybody gets tickets. Right? There should be very little tickets left for the ordinary tourist, if you like, but they seem to get their tickets from somewhere. And are fans selling on the tickets at an inflated price to these people? That's one thing I'd like to know. I have nothing against foreign tourists coming to the games, but are they keeping a real Spurs fan out of a seat? That's what would concern me a little bit,
Yeah, Philip, would we be classed into that foreign or overseas fan base?
I don't know. I suppose we. Yeah, well, I suppose we. We're a different country. We're not in the
I'm
UK.
not trying.
So
I'm not
presumably
trying to be. I'm not trying to be.
No, I'd
funny
say we are. I'd say we probably are. Yeah. But I mean,
So
Dermot, I know every time I go over to a Spurs game, like the last game time, the AC Milan game that we came over, it was like a Tottenham special. Half the people on the plane were going to the match. You know, so there's an awful lot of people travel over from here to Spurs games.
Yeah, look, I just feel the supporters trust has really shot themselves in the foot with this one, Philip, or the club have. They rarely have, and it's.
I think the club have. The club have, not the supporters trust.
No, the club rarely have, Philip. Look, this is more now on the supporters trust, and everyone, please get your thoughts in. I'll go through there again. That's for later. Now, got this. Now, what we need to do now, Philip, is to make ourselves seen and heard both on match days across all social media and push the message that our loyalty is being exploited. Put pressure on sponsors and clubs, bankers, Bank of America, investee to themselves from exploitation, sponsorship, and all them different sponsors, Philip.
That I don't agree with. That bit I don't agree with.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah,
is that
no.
Which
listen,
bit you
listen,
don't
they had
you
nothing to
agree
do.
with,
They had nothing to do with the ticket price. They had nothing to do with the ticket price.
No.
They're putting money into the club, and we need that money in the club. So to ask people to boycott their sponsors or get those sponsors to withdraw, I think is a bit irresponsible. There's other ways of doing it. We need those sponsors. We need them.
And so, what do you think the Tottenham Hotspur Trust? Look, we all know about the Levy out and the In out fan base and movement, Philip. Do you think? Look, you look at United; they've got one protest group. They've all come together, one protest group under one banner. Now, do we need to do that at Tottenham to get behind one banner, one movement? Or do you think it's gone down the road too far now that it's all going to have to be separate groups now?
I think it'll be all separate groups. I think it'll be all separate groups. I don't think. I think it's gone. To get a thing like this, you need to start with a big group, not start with 20 smaller groups, because they'll always disagree on something. Oh, I don't like him, or I'm not going in with him. Whereas if you get a big group to start it all together like the United did, then you've got a hope. You've got a chance. Yeah.
Big up Carl Simpson. Everyone like and subscribe and do the poll. The poll at the moment, Philip, has gone up and down during the show. 49 votes, 51% say yes, 49% say no. Very close.
Very close.
Chris, I'm going to call you Chris because I'm not even going to attempt your last name and butcher it. But he says, here in Oz, a group of buy season tickets and share them out for visits.
Yeah. But here, don't we have we have a membership card assigned to our mobile phone, which is kind of tricky. I'm not sure if that's transferable, so that might not work too well over here.
The trouble
unless you give someone their phone for the afternoon.
Yeah. Stuart Wheeler says the trouble is it is a market's force, and then the club will keep rising prices until they have empty seats, and that's the thing, isn't it, Philip? Fans that keep going, they're not going to take any notice, are they? They're not going to take any notice.
Yeah, if people keep buying the tickets. Yeah, that's a good point that Stuart makes there. I mean, you can vote with your feet by not going to games, but we all know that's not going to happen either, really. Because how many games have Spurs played at that stadium that hasn't been capacity crowded in it? Very, very few. Not many. Very few. So
we've got David Clark at the old White Hart Lane. I used to sit next to fans that came from Denmark, Norway, and from Ireland who booked a hotel room on top of the price ticket. Yeah. David, look, my missus said to me the other night, why don't you go to the Shakhtar game, over the weekend? And I looked into it. Now the ticket's what, 25 quid?
25 quid, yeah.
Yeah. But the flight over was over €200. Plus then the travelling down to London. Yeah. You're looking there in a $350.
Yeah, so I booked my flight about six weeks ago. That's why I got the cheapest flight. I booked as soon as the game was announced, I booked the flight.
Yeah, but that's the point, Philip, I'm making. It's not how long you book the flight, but you put it all together, it still works out to it.
Absolutely.
It's an expensive day because you're flying back there on the same day. It's an expensive day out.
Well, the AC Milan one was even more expensive because we all flew in the day. We all flew in the day of the match, stayed overnight, and flew home the next day. You stayed a few days, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I was there for 4 days. Me and Dave stayed there.
That wasn't expensive trip. Plus the fact we had to get a taxi because the match was over. We had to get a taxi from Tottenham out to Stansted to the airport, so that cost a fair bit as well, you know. So.
Lacey Crawford said 30,000 extra fans get a chance to watch Tottenham every week since we've moved to the new stadium from White Hart Lane. It's supply and demand. We have a huge waiting list for season tickets.
That's right. Massive.
Philip, but look, Philip, I'm not taking that argument. I'm sorry, I can't. You know, you're now pricing out the genuine fan. We may have 30 extra fans want to get to a game, but how many of them fans have been to Tottenham for years and years and years and years? They haven't. And Tottenham are pricing them genuine fans out, and it needs to stop, and it has to stop, because we can't keep going along this road of genuine fans being priced out and the poor sandwich brigade coming in, Philip, right? The well-to-do, the people that have had big jobs and well earned it, and priced the likes of you and me, Dave, Ollie, people from Ireland, people from Denmark, people from Europe, even people from England, out of watching our team. There's going to be no atmosphere. There's going to be nothing in the stadium, and it has to stop. And this is the problem. Roy Keane was right years ago. He says the Porn Sandwich Brigade will take the game over. The Porn Sandwich Brigade are taking the game over.
Yeah. Now, the thing about the waiting list, there's about 40 or 50,000 people on the Spurs waiting list for season tickets. And I mean, and let's face it, if you're waiting 4 or 5 years for a season ticket, when your turn comes, you're going to buy it. Yeah, you're going to buy it. So, you know, it's. Oh, listen, I just put a bit that other thing. Put up the details there of the trust protest on Sunday. Sorry, I should say.
Yeah, hang on. Where is it now, Philip? This one.
That's it there, yeah. So that's the details. It's before the Manchester United match, which is on Saturday, the 19th of August. Just only 3 weeks away. Oh my God! And kick off 5:30. Assembled at 3:45. That's a good long protest. That's a good hour and a half.
Yeah. Now, will they get fans there, Philip, or what do you think will happen?
I hope so, but I wouldn't hold my breath, to be honest with you.
Well, do you think
people will say they're going to go, and all well-meaning, and then when it comes to the day, a lot of people they'll be scared to be seen at it because they might think that they're going to affect their chances if they're on the season ticket waiting list. Some of them might recognise them. So there will be a decent enough crowd, but I hope there is. But I hope they're not disappointed with the crowd that they get.
Yeah. I mean, they go on to say, Philip, we know the club board will not be persuaded easily, so we need to be prepared and keep taking action and step up that action.
Yeah.
And to step up that action is very important that we stick to this clear message. Stop ticket prices rises, stop exploiting loyalty, that we ensure any action does not affect the team. On the pitch, we need to be respectful but determined. We need to persist and build momentum until the club agrees to our call. Further action will be publicized via fan channels.
Yeah.
So look, I applaud the Supporters Trust for what they're doing, but I think it's a little too much, little too late, Philip. And where would they?
Is this the first time though an official branch of the club who are attached to the club by appointment have actually gone on a protest? I know all the other protests have been there, but they've been by fan bases of their own bat.
Yeah.
This is the first one that by a recognised body of the connected to the club. So it may just strike a chord a little bit more than the previous protests.
Yeah, I mean, look, I am also on the view, Philip. Look, where were they when the Super League happened? When all the other supporter trusts were coming out and demanding their owners or their chairmen to take us out of the Super League? Where were they? Nowhere.
Yeah,
where were they?
That's true.
Where were they when we needed help for certain things? Do you know, the Supporters Trust are great at saying, "Oh, we're going to do a protest. We're going to do this," but where are they when we really need them?
Well,
I'm glad somebody now, Philip. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, and I didn't mean to overtalk you. I'm glad somebody now is taking the bull by the horns and actually come out and did something about this.
Yeah, this is the first. Like they've anytime up to now, at least they have a meeting, however long they meet with the club, once a month or twice a month. I don't know when they do it. To actually get agreement amongst their members to go and actually stage a protest like this is a good starting block. It's the first time it's been done by an authorized body of the club, And
Yeah.
providing they organise it right and don't just leave it to the Manchester United game, it's got to be done at every game. There's no point doing it on a one-off basis every other game or every third or fourth game. It needs to be done at every game. And every game that happens, the numbers will increase and increase and increase. So by the end of the season, you've got a properly organised large protest that the club might just start to take notice of.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are other protests happening. We know that, Philip. Do you think they may get joined up at some point, the two separate protests outside the ground?
I don't know. I don't know. It depends if there's any cooperation or coordination or contact between the various groups. I don't know. It's a hard one to answer that. More the merrier. It would probably help if everyone did join up together, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
The supporters trust new people in charge. We have to give them a chance. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. And I
that's
said
true,
I have
that's true,
emailed. I have emailed them, Philip. I have emailed them with an invite to come onto our show, either Newsbeat or debate show, and put the case forward and what they want to do and what they would do for us fans, because us fans need someone. We need a body that we can go to, Philip. That we can express our feelings, because at the moment we're not being listened to.
Well, I think the trust is speaking. The trust coming on here would be speaking to the converted. They'd be speaking to mainly people that would agree with their reasons for having this protest and whatever. I'll be right behind that. You know, what you'd really need is to get someone from the club to come on and give the counter argument. But that will never happen, because they will never ever come on forums like this.
Yeah. So I have to say, we've got Route 2 at Thfc. As people say in chat, the trust has reformed, different people in charge. Yeah, as long as they do that job.
Let's hope that new broom sweeps clean, maybe.
Yeah. David Clark, Leslie Crowfoot says, I believe the wages are now higher than gate receipts. Mark News says, 100% Derman, Phil. The Tottenham Hotspur Trust on board with protests will be a game changer to show Daniel Levy, Enoch, that we want them out. Any news on Jay-Z bid? Of course, we have got some news on that. We're going up there. We don't want to throw around names, but they streamed today and told people, so look like they're going to be more active now. Let's hope Rooty Tooty. Yeah, I think I know what you're getting at, Rooty Tooty. Tequila. They've priced me out due to me not working anymore. I can't even take my gigs. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is.
There you go. That's it.
David Clark says, what about the players? They're taking a huge percentage of the money out of clubs. That's just their wages add on all the sponsorship deals being in adverts. To me, no player is worth that. No player is worth that money. Yeah.
Well, David, you and me will remember back in the day when a player was on 100 quid a week and thought he was a millionaire getting that. Remember back when Jimmy Hill, I don't remember it, but back in 1961, I think it was, Jimmy Hill got rid of the maximum wage for division for footballers. It was £20 a week. That was it. They could not be paid more than that. Now, compare that to today's wages.
I know. My poor niece is disgraceful. She can't afford to take her kids now. The trusts are going to be with okay, fair enough. Big up Brian Maguire. Is it JC? Why would any Woolwich fan want to buy a Tottenham car? He's not an Arsenal fan. He invested in Arsenal because he saw an opportunity. Right, and Rooty Tooty Tequila. I bring that up.
I say Beyonce's a Spurs fan after the concert. That's why she's told him to invest in us.
TOT and TA have joined forces to protest about ticket prices at the Shakhtar game. Hope they all join forces and coordinate. Yeah.
Well, if they can join up with the THST protest, then happy days.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Now, Philip. Well, let's see now. Jay-Z is set to make an audacious bid to buy Tottenham Hotspur FC. Let's see what they're saying. Now, Jay-Z, right, is reportedly interested in purchasing Tottenham Hotspur Football Club in wake of the charges pressed against the club's. Right, can we just get this out?
Jesus.
He is not the current owner.
That's the Daily Express again. That's the Daily Express saying that.
They don't, Philip, just send them a message. Just email them. Do what you're good at. Send them on the horse's head. That the not current owner, I should add, not owner, British billionaire Joe Lewis. Now, Jay-Z is looking to purchase the club as he awaits the fate of Joe Lewis Football. 3x6 reports the current estimated market value of the club currently stands at 2.8 billion. That's 2.18 billion pound, a number that is said to be achievable for Jay-Z. Look, Philip, you've got in here the price for the most ridiculous Spurs transfer rumor today. This has got to be the most ridiculous takeover rumor of the day.
Well, if you think Daniel Levy's going to accept 2.18 billion pounds for Tottenham, you must be on Mars or somewhere. Jay-Z, I think, but probably this has come out of. I know he's supposed to be a Gooner fan, whatever. He's married to Beyonce. She did a few concerts at the stadium this summer or last summer, whenever. She's probably gone back to him and said, "Geez, that'd be a great thing to get involved. It's a fabulous stadium, whatever." Yeah. He's looked in the piggy bank. He's, I've got a couple of billion to spare here. But I also heard the other day that he had 12 other investors hoping to get in with him. And to me, that would be a nightmare. Imagine 12 different investors all want to pull different ways with the club. So I think, Jay-Z, if you're going to buy any club, go and buy Arsenal. Leave us alone.
Ellie said, isn't Adele rich enough to take us over?
Yeah, probably is.
Surely, she's a proper Tottenham girl like me, lads. Yeah.
She is a really good big Spurs fan.
She is. Jay-Z has said he's a Gooner because his favourite player is Terreur. That cheating French.
That's fair enough. We don't like him either. Yeah.
No. Alan says, I've learned over my 56 years not to stress over things that absolutely no control over. Unfortunately, my good lady and Spurs are in that bracket.
I must have a chat with you sometime.
I must have a chat with you. Alan. Please tell us your trick. I think that's brilliant. That's comment on the stream.
Great. That's brilliant.
That's comment on the stream. Yeah. It really is. That is so funny. So look, we're going to leave that there, Philip. We also have few bits of breaking news. Philip, Galatasaray have reached an agreement in principle over personal terms with Tanguy Ndombele. Tottenham have rejected the 8 million offer from the Turkish club. They want at least 10 million. Can you see this going through?
Well, I said yesterday, I thought 8 million was a bit of an insult, to be honest with you. Not because we paid so much for him. We're taking a huge hit on him anyway. So I suppose we get 10 million, let him go. I'll tell you one thing, he'll not be earning 200 grand a week over in Turkey. Not, I hope. No. So he's taking a big cut in wages to leave Tottenham. But we need to get him off the books. He's not featured yet. So let's get him gone, and we'll get an extra couple of $100 grand to pay somebody else coming in.
Look, Philip, we I don't know why we bought him in the first place. Record club signing, and look, it's the biggest waste of space. Absolutely.
He was good. He looked good for his previous team. That's why we bought him. Yeah.
The biggest protest on the match day has had a couple of hundred attend out of 60,000 attending the game.
That's what I was inferring earlier. Like the protests need to be bigger and more noisy. I mean, fair dues to the guys that are doing it. I have every respect for them, but they're not being supported in the numbers they need to be to make it count.
That's true. Reasons the bid is so low is because they've got to pay all the wages to Ndombele. That's true.
Oh, pay him Big Macs.
And Big Macs. Yeah, people do realise Jay-Z is using this as a PR move. He's promoting that he's involved in the football more than just a Brazilian. He's just bought a Brazilian agency, and Vinicius Jr. is his client. This is all just for... Yeah, I agree with you.
Probably is, yeah. I don't think it's a serious bid at all. I don't think it's a serious bid at all.
Aussie 12 says, I don't want Santa to buying the club.
Satanist. Oh, is he into that as well? God. Right.
Probably.
Okay. Well, he's an Arsenal fan, so.
Enoch will never sell for Spurs for anything less than 5.5 billion. So Jay-Z will need a lot of wealthy friends to help him.
2.1's not going to buy it anyway, that's for sure.
Carl's saying Adele's sensible with the money. She must be. Look, and also on the Ndombele, Archibald, big up Archibald, he says, buy Mr. Beale. 10 million, will somebody bloody buy our defenders? Sweet Jesus. Yeah. Poch really wanted Ndombele, apparently. Well, he's not worth 10 million. He's not. £10.
10
million euros.
Pounds.
Yeah. 10 million euros isn't much, but we've got shot of his wages.
That's the main thing. Yeah, that's the main thing.
And one of the biggest flops in Prem history, currently ours anyway. Yeah. It is. It really is. Now, Philip, we are leaving the best. We've got a few stories here. We are leaving the Harry Kane story to last. we decided to swap it round this week for a little bit. Now, Philip, Barca allow a midfielder to leave for 50 million. Now, this is Kessie, isn't it? Now, Kessie has been linked to Tottenham Hotspur over the last week or so. Do you think this is a deal that could be done, or we wait to sell Højbjerg before we buy Kessie?
Well, I think if we got 25 or 30 million for Højbjerg, which is, well within the realms of possibility from Atletico Madrid, and buy Kessie for 15 million, that would be one of the signings of the close season to me. Because we all love Højbjerg, well, not all of us, but most of us. Højbjerg has been a great servant to the club. This boy is a step up in class.
Yeah.
And that's why he'd be a great signing for Spurs at that money. Snap him up. Even if Højbjerg doesn't really buy him for that, because he will be a big improvement.
That's true. I've got people in the chat, Philip, saying, let me go there. Spurs Plus, we're a joker for clubs in the League of Ireland have more ambition.
Not all of them.
Do you know what? No, so seriously though, Philip, has he got a point? No, seriously though, has he got a point there?
But we're not really a joke. I mean, this thing about being a joke, are we a joke amongst ourselves? And maybe Arsenal and Chelsea and West Ham. Do you think Manchester City are worried about Tottenham being a joke, or Man United? Not a bit. It's a perception that's been borne up by all the complaints and all the dissatisfaction with the way the club is run by ourselves. We're a joke amongst ourselves mainly, but that's the bulk of it, really. League of Ireland clubs have more ambition. Some League of Ireland's come on an awful lot in a few years, but they're never ever going to reach the revenue streams that the Premiership does, or the player standards that the Premiership does. No.
But the point I'm asking, Philip, have we not shown any ambition? Have we not shown the ultimate ambition of going that extra mile that gets over the line? Is it? Do you think
but do you not think signing Maddison showed ambition?
No, I'm not on about signing players, Philip. I'm on about getting the players over the past, say, 20 years of when we could have bought an extra player to get us.
I'm talking present, though. I'm not going back in 20 years ago, but that's no point.
No, I'm talking
nothing you can do about that.
No, I'm genuine. I know, Philip, but the general question is: could we have not pushed the boat out a bit? And this is where this joke between us has come from. We're a joke of a club.
Yeah, maybe. I don't regard this as a joke of a club. If I regard it as that funny, I'd go and support somebody else. But no, I don't think so. Look, we've shown great ambition in some aspects. The stadium, the training ground, or whatever. We've done all that. Not many other clubs have managed that sort of stand ever. But where we have let ourselves down a bit is probably we've bought players. We've bought the wrong players. We've paid too much for players. And that's got to stop now. That's why Paratici was brought in to try and stop that end of it. Now he's more or less gone. But we've got to now buy players that we can afford, that aren't overpriced, and can do a job for us. And Ndombele is a case point. Looked a great player for somebody else, came to us and couldn't hit a ball off from 2 yards. That's the type of player we need to avoid in the future. Then we'll not be a joke club.
I agree with you, Philip. I agree with you. The point I was trying to get at was, we've always been labelled as adults, haven't we? We've got no ambition. We haven't gone the extra mile. We haven't bought this player and that player. Do you think it's a non? Do you think it's more of a unhelpful label when people come out and say, "Oh, we're a joke of a club and we're this and we're shambolic"? It's
unhelpful, but then again, we call West Ham a joke of a club as well.
Yeah,
but we don't give it much thought. It's a throwaway remark. We don't give it much thought, and that's the same with a lot of other clubs would say about Tottenham, right? And I don't mind about that. I mean, it's just. I don't know what to say really. There's been mistakes made in the past. Certainly, there's been a lot of mistakes made in the past. Various things, and Daniel Levy is probably responsible for most of them in the last 20 years, right? But now I see again. We said it under Conte. We thought this was it. I'm hoping Ange Postecoglou can get it across to Daniel Levy that he's got to be backed. He's got to get the players in, the centre backs especially, and that we're going to be by early September, October. People are looking at Tottenham and saying, "Hang on, this guy's done a good job." They're not. The Spurs aren't going to be relegated next season, as some people have said. Which I think is a bit of a joke. And now that I'm giving a preempt to what's coming next year, but it's possible we might still have Harry Kane to assist our cause next season. So what I would like to do is let's park the bus for a while. Let's see how the first few games of the season go. Let's see what players come in, what players go out. Then see do we have ambition by who we sign over the next few weeks.
But looks a very, very point, Philip, and it is a great point you make. And there's 2 points I want to pick out of you on that. I just want to get this question, which I forgot to ask a while ago. It's from Paul Connor. Big up, Paul. It's this question: do you think Levy's selling the club in the background, and that's why he won't invest in the squad, as it seems everything has stopped over the last few weeks? Philip, look, do you think it's because the teams were away, which I was saying that everything stops? Or do you think, do you know there's something else happening here that we don't know about?
I don't know. I mean, we talked about Man United not to buying anybody while the takeover was going on, but they've knocked that in the bud. They've been buying right, left, and centre in the last few days, or about to buy. No, I don't think he's selling it. I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think what would have happened with all this Joe Lewis thing going on, I think if there was anything going along in the sale of Tottenham, some journalists would have picked up on it and we would have heard about it. I don't think so. I don't think that there's anything going on there. I hope there is soon, but not just at the moment.
No. Lacey Crawford is asking, are the teams of the league in Ireland full time? And they are. Well, I think some of them are, some of them not.
Technically. Yeah. But then they're not earning big money at all,
No. Philip, this to you, Philip. How long did it take us to get that creative midfielder? You say Manderson was ambitious. I agree. But it's signing we were crying out for more than 3 years. And that's the problem.
Absolutely. That's true. Yeah, but the thing about it is, if you look at it, since Poch left, right, the managers that we had in, Conte and Mourinho, a creative midfielder wasn't exactly essential to the style of football that they played. And that's probably why there wasn't the ambition to get him in. Now we've got him in because we know Ange needs a creative midfielder to play his style. And that's why I would guarantee to say if Conte was still in charge, we would not have signed Maddison this summer. So, that's the way I look at it. A lot
of people are saying, like Roti Tootie, Spurs play, do you think another Levy game is delaying until we get Longley cheap enough and never intending to get Ange who Ange wanted? We've got Eddie saying we need to show ambition by buying defenders because you can strengthen one part of the team and neglect the other. We've got also Spurs place. Yeah. Hang on, just read this one, Philip, and then I'll let you have your say in all three of them. It's a shambles from being in the Champions League final, fighting for league titles for 3 years to take in 2 months and possibly more to sign the centre back. Philip, look, you and me always see the other side of the argument, don't we? We always see that side of the argument where fans are going to say, look, you're not showing ambition because of A, B, and C. But Philip, transfers is not as easy as people think they are. People just think it's like FIFA or Football Manager. We can get a defender. So transfers do take time, but did Tottenham take longer than most to get who we want in?
Well, the 3 transfer windows at Tottenham did not buy any player, which is a record for a Premiership club. That's what actually killed us over the last few years. That was it. Simple as that. No more discussion needed. If we'd have backed Pochettino after the Champions League final and before it, then we wouldn't be 8th position in the Premiership. We would have qualified for Europe, no problem last season. He wasn't backed when it was needed. I think what Levy thought at the time was, we got to a Champions League final. That we don't need to invest any more investment. The team's good enough. Big mistake. Look how long Poch lasted after that, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Look, this is going to run and run. The poll, Philip, 67 votes. Has been only up for an hour. I'm going to leave it go for another few minutes. Will Kane be here for the first game of the season? 45% say no. 55% say yes.
I'll back in 1 sec. I've just put a noise here to get rid of.
Okay. Now, Fabrizio Romero, despite a gap valuation after face-to-face meeting on Monday, Bayern will insist on Harry Kane deal as they still feel confident. Now, Bayern Munich are still confident it's still happening. Also, Philip.
Sorry with that noisy neighbours.
That's okay. Dan Kirkpatrick has reported that Harry Kane now plans to stay at Tottenham Hotspur if an agreement with Bayern Munich cannot be reached swiftly. Bayern bosses flew to London yesterday for talks with Daniel Levy about the England captain, but the two clubs remain around 25 million apart in their valuations of the striker. Let me get the second bit up here. Now, Kane does not believe it would be fair on Ange Postecoglou to disrupt his season once the ball is kicked in the Premier League and would thus enter the final year of his contract instead. Look, Philip, we've left this to last. Look, we started the show with saying, you know, is Kane going to sign? It's about another day in Kane land. But come on, Philip, something's got to give. Something's got to give in the next few days, sure.
Well, we've got two opposites here. We've now got polar opposites, right? There's one report saying the deal is done, that Harry's off to Bayern Munich. The second one is he's staying at Tottenham if he's not signed for Bayern Munich by the day the Brentford game comes around, right? Now, that to me, the second part I was often wondered, how would Harry react to Ange Postecoglou? Would he be impressed with him? Would he give him an opportunity to stay at the club to get Ange's plans to come to fruition? It looks to me by that statement that he's going to stay if he's not signed up by somewhere else by Brentford. He's willing to give Ange a chance. He obviously likes what he's seen, which is very positive because if Harry Kane stays with Tottenham, right, and we're doing well by Christmas, there's a chance. And I'm not saying there's a 100% chance. There's a chance he will sign that new contract if he sees the type of football we're playing is what he wants, the type of players we bring in between now and the end of the August window, or what he thinks are good enough for Tottenham. So, the two camps are miles apart now. One of them is going to be right, and I'm hoping now. I'm coming round. I'm hoping that Harry Kane will actually now stay at Tottenham and eventually, hopefully, sign the new contract. Now, it's a risk. It's a huge risk because if he doesn't like what happens, and he can sign for somebody else pre-contract in January and go to a Premier League club in June if he wants to. So it's a huge risk, but I'm beginning to think that Harry is starting to come around a little bit now. He might not just think the grass is greener on the other side of the hill.
I'm going to disagree with you, Philip. Just because I can, because I will. Right? I love that. I've been waiting to use that. Look, Philip, I'm hearing different. You know what I told you before. We talked this before the show, right? Yeah. That I'm hearing, I was told this morning, I'm waiting, this is unconfirmed reports, that the Kane deal is done. And then
I won't accept that because I think it's too radical to what's going on the other side, you know? So
Philip, do you think it's journalism's trying to stum up business? There's no news today, so let's go on the Harry Kane bandwagon.
I've often said that.
Stay now. And, and until we know he's going officially, we always say unconfirmed reports. But unconfirmed reports, I'm hearing that Harry Kane deal is done, and it's around about a 90 million transfer plus add-ons.
Is that euros or sterling?
That's sterling.
Right. Okay. That's a very hard offer to refuse. But then when you've got the likes of Fabrizio Romano coming out and saying about the Brentford thing, he might stay if he's still here at Brentford. So that's what I'm saying. It's just some of the reporters that have come out with stuff, I wouldn't believe. If they told me tomorrow was Wednesday, I'd check the calendar, right? Fabrizio Romano, I do take a lot of stock in what he says. He's generally fairly okay on it. So all I can say is, you say one thing, I say another. Let's see who's right. There'll be no hard feelings for the person that's wrong. But it's just there's hope and there's no hope, if you know what I mean.
I'm not doing the tattoo bit. I'm telling you now. I'm not doing the tattoo bit. I am telling you now. I am not going down that road again.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Very quickly, Carl's asking, what is the sub count on the channel? Listen, we reached a bit of a milestone yesterday, Philip. We actually reached over 1,500 subs yesterday. So we're 500 away from 2K. We're actually 500.
We want to be 2K well before Christmas, lad. So tell your friends.
So firstly, thank you for everyone who subscribed so far and who's helped us along our journey. But we're not finished yet. Me and Philip have got more to do. We've got new content coming up, and we need you to hit that subscription button, hit that membership button, help us grow. We do this, Philip, don't we? Free of charge. We don't get paid by anyone, and we do it off our own time. And we do put a lot of work into these shows. We just don't start 5 minutes ago, don't we? Or should we do a show, Philip? Yeah, let's just quickly around for 5 minutes get stored. This is well put together. Every day it's about I work on these channels for about 7 or 8 hours a day. And I start around midday. And then after this show is finished, I'm already starting planning for the next show or pre-record, which Philip knows. I've been on the phone to him this afternoon. So it doesn't stop. We both work hard, Philip. It doesn't stop.
Well, you do more than I do, Dan, because I obviously I'm working as well. So I'm kind of bringing the two in together. But no, I mean, Dermot does an awful lot of work in the background here, and he's fair dues to him. He does a great job on it, you know. And he has to teach me some of the hieroglyphics now and the technology of it, so I'll be able to do it so he can take a break now and again, before he keels over.
Probably keel over, Philip.
When you hear Harry Kane staying.
I'll die on stream. It would be long live Dermot, long live the king. The king is dead.
We'll have the funeral live on YouTube.
Yeah, we will. Philip saying, "God, send us in the super chat now for what's been on Dermot's headstone."
Oh dear! I told you Kane was going.
Yeah. I don't feel making me.
Oh yes,
Holy Jesus.
The old ones are the best. Huh?
Right, here we've got a few people. I actually said the other night, me and the missus were talking about it, right? And I said, we were talking about something. I said, on my headstone, Wizards, I'd be 90 before I win an argument with you. And we both burst out laughing because I thought it was a great thing to put on my headstone. All right.
I have an uncle. On that subject, I have an uncle that's buried in not far from here, and he didn't he went around the world a lot. He was a traveler, and on his headstone he put, "I don't know where I am now, but I've been everywhere else."
That's classic. All right. Okay. Where were we? We're so behind on the chat at the moment. Yeah, here we go. Where is it now? Here we go. Tequila. I love Philip's optimism. Wish I shared it, brother. This is about the Harry Kane thing. David Clark says the one man who knows Bayern Munich more than any says they will not pay more than 100 million euros. That's Ralph, a British journalist who knows the German scene more than him. No British journalist knows the board knows him. I wouldn't care if we have Richie for a season and if we sign 2 or 3 top centre backs.
Maybe.
Rooty Teats, Sky Germany are reporting that Bayern's offering 95 million euros for a 5-year contract. Is that a new bid, or I've lost track?
That's about 80 million sterling, roughly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know. That could be close enough.
Yeah, it could be. Yes, Dermot and Philip face off. We can do it for charity. No, I won't do it.
Well, one thing I heard yesterday, I don't know whether you've heard this in your travels, that Spurs are insisting on a buyback clause as well.
Yeah, they are. I think it's the right thing to do as well.
Oh, it's a good idea. Yeah, it is. Yeah. We're buying back for 15 bob.
Come on, do a tattooed bet.
No.
Just take Bayern Munich. Just take Bayern Munich next up for 80 million plus. Move on and get 2 centre backs. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Get the cock tattooed. Fuck off, Carl. He's on Saturday. Is it Friday or Saturday? He's on with me.
Saturday.
I'm calling in sick. It'd be Carl and Mia doing that show. Oh God, no one knows what Kane wants. The media has got me in the spin. Oh, Hot God 10. Look, they got us into a Glenn Hoddle spin. They really do. Cheers, Carl. Very kind. We've got Root to Eat. Great news, guys. Well done. Thank you so much. 95% of all sports journalism are fake. But when it comes from journalists who knows Bayern Munich inside out, so unless your insider initials are IH, then I don't believe them. Do you know what? I don't. Do you know what? I'm going to say this, and all respect to you, Mr. David Clark. Scratch my nose. I don't care what anyone says, because everyone's got a different story. So really and truly, it's true though, isn't it, Philip? Everyone's got a different story. It's either Harry Kane was seen. Apparently, I've heard Mickey Mouse has bought Harry Kane for. He's putting a bid for 110 million. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? Mark News says, to be fair, if a general 90 million offer, do you want to read that one out, Philip?
Okay, to be fair, if it's a genuine £90 million offer, this may be too difficult to turn down. I'd love Harry to stay, and if we can get 2 decent CBs in this week, Harry is staying. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, I mean, 90 million sterling is going to be nearly impossible to turn down. That's what I'll say, if that is the case. So, maybe no, I don't know. Maybe Harry's team are hedging their bets. So they're saying, they're talking out of both sides of their mouth to keep both camps happy. Yeah. And then eventually one of us is going to be right, one of us is going to be wrong. But that's how long that's going to take. Well, it needs to be done before the Brentford match. That's all.
Yeah, it does.
We have 10 days really for that to happen.
Yeah, we've got Spurs. We've finished very quickly, Philip, because I need to go. Don't believe nothing unless it's here we go. Or the exactly. But look,
that's true.
if we get the news, we will report it. We're only trying to be fair to you guys. David Clark, if Kane thinks he can come back to the Prem and he's 35 and breaks Euros record, then he's deluded.
He won't be 35 when he comes back. He'll be 33, I'd say. About 3 years.
Yeah, he will be. Every time my WhatsApp message goes, I think it's our person we trust with news. Levy's to blame. Of this whole situation, if he had bought quality in the window, example centre backs, Kane would have signed a new contract. Also, all managers' hands tied by Levy, Saka managers not spending on squad. Yeah, that is very true as well. Philip, look, do you need to go? Because I can carry on for another 5 minutes if you need to.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do. I wasn't aware of this, but I have a trip to make now. So unfortunately, I'll have to head out. I'll talk to you later on, and we'll talk about the pre-record.
Yeah, me and Philip will be putting out a pre-record tonight about the Harry Kane thing, so we're going to get more, hopefully a bit more news. If not, we may go live if it's big breaking news. So we'll wait to see that. Philip, thank you so much for today, and listen, I'll speak to you later. I'll just finish off these few bits. I just want to finish off these few comments, and then we'll take. See you later, guys. See you, Philip. Take care. I'll take him down. There we go. Yeah, we've got Daniel here. Mark New, I'm sorry, a 2-year buyback ain't happening. It would buy and pay over 8 million for a player, then just say, yeah, you can rejoin your old club 2 years on. Look, we have to wait and see. But look, I think it would be, we have to put it in there. We rarely do. I think we do. Steve D, we're not winning anything next season. If he stays, get the money for him while we can before he goes to Chelsea United for free. He wants to go. Look, this is the thing. Does Levy stickle twist? If he sticks and Harry stays here for the Brentford game and he's still here, then he doesn't sign the contract and he walks away. He walks away for nothing. Look, and the poll, will Kane be here for the first game of the season? 46% say yes, 54% say no. It's very tight. It's very, very tight. Again, what's the key? Route 2. What do you think about Brendan Johnson as Kane's replacement? He scored previously 8 goals last season, hardly worth 50 million. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. I've heard people like Evan Ferguson of Brighton. I've had the Brentford striker who's unsuspended at the moment. I've heard him. Look, we were very lucky to get Harry Kane. We all know that. Harry came through the ranks. We all know that. So we have to wait and see what happens. This story is going to run and run and run. And Kane rarely needs 2 more seasons to break the record. Yeah, he does, Spurs Plus. Look, I want to say thank you to everyone who's come in today. And again, how can I tell if I'm a member? You got a little dot beside your name, HogGod10. So let me end this poll now, guys. Let me do that. And the poll was, will Kane be here for the first game of the season? 53% say no, and 46% say yes. So we have to wait and see. We rarely do. Wayne said, if Kane wants to go, let him go. Sub the buyback. There's more than that. That's no more than a step backwards rather than pushing forward as we would be doing. I think. Look, I think this buyback clause, I think some fans would expect it to be in there. But I agree with you, Wayne. I think it's got to be, we've got to move forward. Harry Kane's been a great striker, a great ambassador for our club, and we love him dearly. He's our club leading goal scorer. We love him dearly. But I think you don't go back. Do you go back to your exes? No, you don't. Do you know, would Kane be the same striker if he comes back from Germany, if he does go? I don't think he will be. I think he would have won his trophies and more protruded into a camera. But look, we have to see what happens. Yeah, I've heard it's crazy. 40 million doesn't get you much nowadays. The problem is transfer money is so expensive. You can't buy decent players. But listen, guys, thank you so much for watching. Me and Philip will be back later with some sort of a pre-record or a live record if Harry Kane goes. I'm still waiting for any breaking news on that. So once I get it, We will bring it to you, of course, always firstly on THFC till I die. Wayne Bonner, we be far different team by the time Kane comes back. Yeah, I know. We've got Cub Simpson. I don't know any of my exes was a nut. I don't know. One of my exes was a nut for Spurs. Oh dear, that's funny. No back class for Wilt McDonald. Clause, get it done and dusted. Exit exactly. And big up Steve D as well. Big up Steve. Great to see you back in the chat, brother. Great to see you in. It's always great to have you around. Usual sentimental nonsense that Spurs are always guilty of. Yeah. Well, look, whatever we do, enjoy the rest of the day. Now we usually do this for Philip, but I'm going to do this. Where's Fred? Where's Fred? There's Fred. Right. Now, I just want you to picture Scott Mon, Daniel Levy seeing Scott Mon walk into his office to say, "Hey boss, I'm ready to start work." Not the best one, I must admit, but whatever you do, have a lovely... It always gets me every time, that one, to be fair. Listen, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. We will be back with any breaking news later on if we can. But, you know, we've got a lot of here. We've got a few here. Sheringham and Defoe came back. Robbie Keane have a short time in Liverpool. I will. I will do, Ellie. Thank you so much. And who's Scott Mon? I don't know who Scott Mon is. That will be the title of the next show. Who is Scott Mon? And yeah, Tequila, it is a classic. Shamu sent me that during the World Cup, and it's been too good to get rid of. I have to use it. You can use it for anything, but big up everyone. And Carl Simpson says, "This is Levy being told he needs to buy defenders." Whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your day. Come on, you Spurs. In Ange we trust.